when you think about having less stress in your life and having more abundance, how do you think that can happen? Now, you may think, well, I just have to be more disciplined. Well, what if I told you it had nothing to really do with discipline? It had everything to do with your habits. Creating habits is a way to give you less stress and more abundance in all areas of your life. So in this video, what we're going to talk about are the 3 simple steps that it takes to create new habits or change existing ones that you don't like. It's going to help you to organize what is important to you. It's going to help build your confidence and help you achieve anything that you want to achieve. This is DeneenTB, your Christian business growth strategist and clarity coach. And on this channel, I talk about all things truth, which is God's word, and all things business, which is how we serve. And I am talking about one of my favorite things today, discipline. You may be thinking the words stress, the words abundance, and the word discipline, they don't really go together. But you know what? They're all wrapped up together in one word, and that word is habits. So I want you to look at some of the habits of successful people first and evaluate yourself. Evaluate yourself if you're doing some of these things already. Okay? Now, it's right here. And I'm going to put it there so that you can see the list. But maybe you can check off a few already. Maybe you get up early, or you read daily. You prioritize self-care. You take 15 to 30 minutes of just focused thinking every day. Or you make time for important relationships. You follow a daily routine already. You pursue your own goals. And you get enough sleep. These are the habits of successful people. How many are you already doing? There is real power, and I want to use that word really specifically. There's real power in creating habits. And having these habits, they will make your life better. They will make your life easier to manage, aka having less stress, having more abundance. You know, you are who you are, and you do the things that you do because of habits. So I want you to think about this for a minute. Think about the way that you brush your teeth, the order that you actually shower your body, the way you tie your shoes, the way you get dressed. You know, these are things you do every day. There are even bigger habits that are bigger learned habits that you do without thinking, right? Such as driving a car. Or you've been conditioned to answer the ding every time something happens on social media or email, right? Are you still not convinced that you are the sum of your habits? So do this exercise for me today. Just for today, for one day, I want you just to bring awareness to what you do every single day and see how many things you actually do as a routine, as a habit. Maybe it's the way you get up and get coffee in the morning. Or maybe it's the way you have to arrange your desk before you get started. Maybe it's when you open social media or what you open first. Just want you to notice it. Just notice it. Because there are things that you do each day that don't require you to actually think about it because you just do them. There's the word power. That's the power that we are going to kind of harness to create a new behavior, or like I said, to change an existing one. First though, what we need to look at is we need to look at a problem. Have you ever heard yourself saying something like this? I just work better under pressure. Or, you know, forces beyond my control kept me from getting this done. Or, I just need to be in the mood to do this. Those are a problem because they are excuses for the procrastination problem. You know, you can do this because you are in control of you. No more excuses for not getting done the things you really want to accomplish and not getting your life into the shape that you want it to be. We want you to have less stress about what is not getting done, and we want you to have more abundance in what is getting done. So I have some questions to help you start thinking about your life right now and how it will change if you stop procrastinating and you start implementing habits, okay? So here are the questions. If I didn't procrastinate, I would. How would you answer that sentence? How would my life be different if I didn't procrastinate? How would you answer that? What would I have to handle if I stopped procrastinating? And then, of course, on the other side, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about what are some of the things that would be easier to do if I created a habit for them. What would be easier to do? I have some examples for you. Maybe it would be easier if you gave yourself a timer and spent only 30 minutes on social media each day. Maybe you would find a way to do what the dentist asks you to do and floss your teeth more often. Or maybe you would get more done because you are time blocking for your projects. Creating a habit, that's the power. So what immediately comes to mind when I asked you these questions? You might have to stop the video and write those down, the answers to that. There are 3 power words that I want you to harness as we look at the power of habits. Those 3 words all start with R because you know I love alliteration. They are the reminder, the routine, and the reward. So these 3 words can kind of become your mantra to a successful life, doing exactly what you want and in a way that becomes a part of what makes you, you. So that we're clear, I want you to remember this, because you might have this in your back of your head. I want to talk about what developing a habit is not, okay? What it is not. It's not about having more self-control or exercising self-control over and over and over again. It's not what it's about. It is not about finding a new dose of willpower. Like, I'm going to stop doing that, and you have willpower. It's not about that at all. It's not about a lack of motivation. Like, oh, I just don't feel like. No, it's not even about that. Creating a habit is not about a lack of motivation, that you don't feel motivated. It is not even that remembering to do it. It is not about that. It's not like, oh, I forgot. It's not about that either. It is about creating a structure, a strategy that will make you successful. It will make you successful. Once you have that strategy, that structure in place, you have the tools to make any desire a reality. Any desire, anything you want to accomplish, you can make it a reality in your own life. So the 3 power words are, remember what they are? That's another R word, but remember the 3 R's? The reminder, the routine, and the reward. So the reminder triggers and initiates the behavior. And we're going to talk about that and how to create those. And then the routine is the actual behavior that you have decided, the action that you're going to take. And then the reward is the benefit that you gain from doing the behavior. So now that we've got all those 3 down, you're ready to go, right? So how do we choose a reminder? You have to select a trigger for this new behavior. It can be something as simple as a timer. It can be an event that happens during your day. It could actually even be an object strategically placed in an odd place so that you get triggered when you see it. So picking out this reminder is really important. You have to pick a correct reminder for this new habit. And that's really the first step in making the change easier. Now, the best way I know to discover a good reminder for you for the new habit is to make 2 lists. Okay, so I've got the 2 lists here, so you can take a screenshot if you want to list here. In the first list, write down, brainstorm through the things that you do each day without fail. Now, I've given you some examples here, like get in the shower, put on your shoes, brush your teeth, flush the toilet, sit down to dinner, turn the lights off, get into bed. So think about those things that you do without fail. Many of these items are daily health habits, even like washing your face or drinking morning tea, coffee, brushing your teeth, and so on. So these actions can actually be reminders, triggers for the new habit. For example, you might say to yourself, after I drink my morning tea, I will meditate for 60 seconds. If that is what your habit or goal is to take time to meditate, take time to stop and think. Okay, so that's the first list. That's the first way we can look for reminders, for triggers. The second list is to write down things that happen to you each day without fail. Things that happen to you each day without fail. Examples, a traffic light turns red, right? You get a text message. You see a commercial on television. The song ends that you're listening to. The sun sets. You receive a phone call. Anything like that. With these two lists, you have a wide range of things that you already do and that you already respond to every single day. Those are perfect reminders for new habits as well. So once you have decided on this new behavior, the actual habit, then you're going to put the reminder in place, and then you're going to do it every single day. And to help yourself out, you need to restructure some of your environment. Get rid of the things that are keeping you stuck. I always think about if you're trying to not eat junk food. Let's say you're trying to change that existing behavior of eating junk food to eating more healthy food. You need to take the junk food out of your environment if that is your goal. You have to make yourself be successful by remember, it's not willpower. If it's not there, then you won't have that choice. You take it away. Really make the new habit a priority. Set yourself up for success, like I said, by removing the temptation in front of you. I already gave you the example of junk food. Take it out of the house. Maybe you're trying to stop binge watching television. Unsubscribe to your Netflix. Or maybe you want to spend less time on Facebook or any other social media platform. Take it off of your phone. Don't have the notifications on. Make it easier for yourself because you need a plan and you need to write it down. You need a reason for your goal as well. And I would say write that down too. And you need to know your reminder, your trigger. So down in the description, I have a tool for you. I call it my 20 habits. And it's going to help you to brainstorm all the things that I'm talking about today with places to write it out so you can see your own progress. So make sure to pick that up and you can have all of the things that I'm talking about in one place. That's down in the description. I remember when I was going through my nutrition plan, I set alarms for when I needed to take my supplements. I planned my meals on Sunday for the week so that they would be ready, so I would not have to think about those things. And I drank water at scheduled times during the day. I even did squats in the shower so I could stay in the hot water longer. I don't know about you, but I've got my mom in my head saying, don't waste the water. Well, if I'm doing squats, I'm busy. I'm still doing things in the hot water. I don't know if you have that, but I did. My power reason, remember, it's all about power. Taking the power, harnessing the power. My power reason, my goal was to get off of my high blood pressure medicine. Now, I live my nutrition plan. I lost 40 pounds. I don't think about the things that I've lost, like bread and pasta, because my body responds to gluten. But I think about what I've gained. I've gained stamina. I'm stronger. I love those things. So give yourself a strong reminder, something that will trigger the behavior. Okay? So the next R in our 3 is routine. When the reminder goes off that you've set up, if it's that time of day, that alarm goes off, that thing happened, whatever it is, you see your object, whatever that trigger is, then you do the action. You just do the behavior. You do not say, I'll do it later. You just do the behavior. So here are a few examples. When I stop at a red light, I will whisper one thing I'm grateful for. If that's your goal, to have more gratitude in your life. Maybe you would say, like I did, at the end of my shower, I will do 3 reps of 10 squats. Or when I brush my teeth, I floss right after because I've put the floss right next to the toothbrush and I see it. Or you might say, when the alarm goes off, I will get off of Facebook because I set the alarm before going on. Just do the behavior. So, what is one goal that you have right now that could be turned into a habit or maybe a series of habits? Think about that. For me, the easiest areas to think through quickly are in my health, in my relationships, and in personal projects. I would love to know down in the comments, what is it that you want to work on right now? If you need some help breaking it down into how I can create habits, I would love to know so I can help you break that down into the actions and help you create some powerful reminders for that. So let me give you an example from what I've done. Let's say that you have a personal goal right now to exercise for 30 minutes each day. Why? Remember, power in why. To get stronger, maybe it's to lose weight, maybe it's so you can breathe better, maybe it's just so you want to be more active. You have to decide your why. Then you have to decide, what are you going to do? Are you going to take a walk? Are you going to do Pilates? Are you going to Zumba? Are you going to take those bar ballet type exercise classes? Or maybe you just want to change it up every day and do different things on different days. That is the behavior. And remember, we're writing it down, okay? Then you're going to think through your reminder. What would make it a strong reminder for you? Are you a person who likes a lot of other people, so getting a gym membership would be the way to do it for you? Maybe scheduling that class is really what is going to be that trigger for you and makes you do it. Or maybe you exercise or do it before you get into the shower or take a shower because you love doing your exercise in your PJs. Or maybe you wanted to use it as a break in the afternoon once you've put in a few hours of work. So it could be after lunch, you take your walk. It can be anything, and it can be different on different days. It doesn't always have to look the same. But no matter what you decide, you need to write it down. You need to write it down. So when the reminder that you've set happens, whether, like I said, it's the time of day, it's an event, it's before, after, you see an object, whatever it is, when that happens, then whatever you've decided to do, you just do it. There is no thinking here. Don't allow your procrastination excuses to take over. Prioritize it and be consistent. Do it no matter what. You know, this is only really going to happen if you do this in very small behaviors. Don't think you're going to solve this huge problem with one big action. The behaviors need to be very small and they need to be very doable. I gave you my example of when I had my nutrition plan. I had different things for drinking water, for planning meals, for taking supplements. So I had to break down all the different behaviors that would help me into smaller behaviors. So again, you wrote down a goal, right? Did you write it down? I hope you did. I want you to look back at that goal right now, the one that you wrote down, and I want you to write the routine, the behavior that you will do when the reminder is triggered. Now, it may be more than one. It's totally fine. But Each behavior that you do over time, we have to do it at least 30 days, a whole month, to really see an increase in you being able to say, this is what I do. This is how I am. This is my MO, right? This is how I behave. Then you're going to start to see the progress, and you're going to feel that it's become part of who you are. And when it becomes part of your lifestyle, that's when it removes the stress, and it makes you feel like you have more because you're just actually doing it, and it becomes natural. That's the beauty. That's the power that you're harnessing. Okay? So the last word that we have is the power word reward. Now, you can make this something very positive, right? And you can say it aloud, and you can repeat it often so that you are remembering what your reward is and why you're doing this. It can be something tangible, like a new pair of shoes, going out for coffee with a friend, getting a massage. That would be a great one for me. Or just going on a vacation. It can simply also just be a feeling, something intrinsic, right? Like having more stamina. Maybe just having that feeling of pride when you complete a project. Seeing your core strength go up. Maybe because you realize you have less back pain, or just connecting deeper to your loved ones. What I want you to do is to acknowledge these small incremental improvements. Really celebrate how you're doing, how you feel. Make it enjoyable so that you will continue to repeat the behavior. Write those down too. Write down those too. So right now, think about what are some of the rewards that you can see for the goal that you set for yourself. Write those down. I would love to know in the comments any of the kind of rewards you want to give yourself, whether it is a extrinsic reward, something you'll do or buy, or if it's going to be something intrinsic, how you're going to feel. Let me know. How would you like to reward yourself for the goal that you've chosen? Because sometimes they can be different rewards for different goals. Now, you may be the type that needs to know the pain. What are the consequences if you do not follow the plan? So here's a great exercise. I want to write down all the negative things that could happen if you don't go through with this plan. Okay, write down all the negative things, because knowing the downsides can actually give you a little jolt of power, of motivation, of, what am I supposed to be? Why am I doing this to myself, right? So ask yourself this: if I don't start whatever the behavior is, exercise, calling my loved ones, writing my novel, whatever it is you want to accomplish, I will. What would you say? How would you answer that? How would you finish that sentence? If I don't start doing XYZ, I will. Maybe it's something that will happen to you. Maybe it's something about how you'll feel about yourself. Remember, some of us need to know the consequences. Your goals must be personal. To harness the power of the reminder, the routine, and the reward. They have to be personal to you, not put on you by someone else. And I know there's going to be days of doubt. There's going to be days of frustration. I want you to allow yourself to be imperfect. Did you hear me? Allow yourself to be imperfect. Get up, do it again. Follow the reminder, routine. You will have the reward. But when those negative thoughts, those procrastination thoughts come in and they threaten to take over, I want you to reframe them. Here's another R word for you. Reframe them. Reframe them. Our bonus R, right? Turn each of them into an affirmation of your determination. I love that. It kind of rhymes. Make them an affirmation of your determination. Because you have the power to change your thoughts about yourself. I love what 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 3 to 5 say. They say, "For though we live in this world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ." Okay, so when we have the negative thought, we take it, we capture it, we give it over to God, and we actually can reframe it, like I said, reframe it into something positive by putting a but, B-U-T, but, after the thought, and replacing it with something positive, something that motivates you to continue to keep going. So here's an example of reframing, okay? Reframing that negative thought. Maybe you're feeling frustrated and you're like, I will never be able to do this. I will never be able to do this. This will never happen for me. But, all right, that's the big word, but I am improving every day as I continue to follow my plan. I know this is true for me. I have been doing Pilates for most of 2020 because of being in the pandemic. And I know that there were days when I just could not do a plank to save my life. And I thought, I will never do this. I will never be strong enough. But I will continue to try and do this, follow my plan. And now I'm pretty good at plank and I can do things. I surprise myself sometimes of how strong I have become. So what are some of your negative thoughts that you have that you can actually reframe with the power of God's word and the power of the word but? You can put those down in the comments, or you could just write them out for yourself. Remember, I have this 20 habits download for you to start really helping you by initiating 2 new habits per month. And you can continue them each month and adding 2 new ones until you are the person that you want to be. There's a way for you to write it out and have it put somewhere so you can see it. Remember, the small changes in just one area of your life, what happens is it reverberates to all the other parts of your life. Because once you have these 3 R's down, the reminder, the routine, and the reward, once you have them, you are able to change any behavior. Whether you want to create a positive behavior or stop a negative behavior, you can turn it into something beneficial for you. Because you have the power to change your life, to change your world. This is DeneenTB. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and please share this video. I'm here to help you do more for God through your business, to do it with less stress, and to live more abundantly. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, be filled to overflowing.